Yeah, so Never Be the Same takes me back some probably 10 or 12 years, to be honest. It's the oldest song that I've written and been a part of. In fact, it was the very first song that I wrote. So what happened was, when I first started coming to church and first started serving and first started exploring the idea of being in a relationship with God, I started journaling some things and some feelings and kind of what was going on in my mind, even though I didn't really fully understand or really know what was happening in my life at that time. And part of what I was journaling was these sort of lines that became the verses of Never Be the Same, and then the pre-chorus, and then the chorus, which speaks about the love and the unfailing and never-ending grace of God coming down and finding me just as I was and where I was at that point in time. And at that time of my life was very confusing, and I was doing different things and involved with different groups of people, and I was really interested, through the help of a bunch of other people, in exploring what it would be like to be in a relationship with the Lord. And so during that time I had written all these words and all these sentences and all these phrases and things, and I ended up just fiddling around on guitar. And I believe now God was preparing me then for something so much greater, and he gave me these words and this song is essentially like it. I remember writing all these words down, and it just flowed straight out of my heart and onto the page. And it became the very first song that I wrote since becoming a Christian. And it was really important to me to be able to do that, because I now reflect on everything that God's done in my life since. And at every juncture in my life, since then, I just can pinpoint exactly where His grace has pulled me out of a mess, or His grace has come and been a relevant force in my life. Why would this Almighty God in heaven, why would this force in heaven come down to earth and pick me to want to use me? Like, I've never thought I've ever been qualified to do what I'm doing now, and He's been such a blessing in my life. And the line "Never Be the Same" really reflects exactly where my heart was at that time. And when I decided to give my life to Christ, I could think of nothing else other than my life is never going to be the same from this point forward. I ended up finally getting to record it proper on the Finding Glory album in 2015. And yeah, it was really special to have that as part of those collection of songs. And like with a bunch of other songs, we decided to revisit it and include it on our current album. What we wanted to do was it was the last song that we decided to include or record. And we wanted to revisit that, and I think it was Rachel who had the idea of doing a piano-only version. And of course, I love the idea. So we got together and we looked at what we could do differently. We looked at just changing up the song a little bit from its original form. This particular song was beyond amazing, and it couldn't have ended up going better if we had tried, And I'm really grateful to God for, one, giving me the song, two, His grace finding me from where I was at that time some 10, 12 years ago, and now being able to use it, I think, is just amazing. And it's never sounded better, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of what Rach and I have done with the song. I'm super stoked that Jones was able to bring his heart. If you hear the song, I pray that, if the idea of God, if the idea of faith is a challenge or a struggle for you, I just pray that maybe you hear the song and you realise that if you give God a chance, just maybe, there's a chance that He might offer His grace to you and you might take it. And honestly, you've got nothing to lose. His grace is more than enough. And if you think that you're not good enough to receive it. Let me tell you, I thought the same thing, but he still came into my life at a time when I needed something to happen, something to change, and I really am grateful that he did that. So I pray that this song would be a vessel of hope. I pray that this song would, you know, bless someone's heart out there, and I pray that this song would maybe change someone's idea that if you give God a chance, maybe your life could very well never be the same again.